push for the legalization of marijuana for recreational use faces another hurdle after not submitting enough valid signatures to bring to the Ohio General Assembly.
But the coalition to regulate marijuana like alcohol says more signatures are coming soon. In a Dayton 24/7 Now exclusive, our Bennett Wise talks with the group about their efforts and also with a local senator on why he opposes the legislation.
Are you confident that you will get them in by the deadline of January 13th?
Without question.
A petition to push a marijuana regulation proposal falling 13,000 signatures short of heading to the Ohio General Assembly. Now the coalition to regulate marijuana like alcohol has until January 13th to submit additional signatures.
We know that it's a priority of Democrats in Congress and a priority of the Biden administration to deschedule marijuana. Well, if that happens, that would mean that it's descheduled under federal law and it's also automatically descheduled under Ohio law.
If the federal government does deschedule marijuana, it would be available and can be sold by anyone, untaxed and unregulated.
That's a real bad policy outcome. And so it's very important for the Ohio General Assembly to be proactive on this issue so that when the federal government ultimately deschedules marijuana, we have a framework in place.
The coalition's proposal would have a 10% cannabis tax on top of state and local sales tax. Plus, similar measures were taken from Ohio's current medical marijuana program, founded by Senator Steve Huffman in 2016. Huffman currently sponsors Senate Bill 261, which would expand medical marijuana use as your physician sees fit and establish a Department of Marijuana Control. However, Senator Huffman says he opposes full legalization.
Was there any particular reason why you don't support recreational use?
I would just have to look at the bill and what it does. I just don't think Ohioans is ready for recreational marijuana. I believe it's going to happen in Ohio in 5 to 8 years, but I think there's going to be a transition period for Ohioans to be able to accept it.
Huffman's medical marijuana bill passed through the Senate and is being introduced in the House. And if the coalition obtains enough valid signatures, lawmakers would have 4 months to act. If no action is taken, the group can also gather an additional 133,000 signatures for the proposal to then go on the statewide ballot in the November elections. I'm Bennett Wise reporting.
Natalie, thanks so much. Kettering Health announcing today it is postponing a non-emergency elective surgeries requiring overnight stays effective immediately at all Kettering hospitals. Now, the move comes as our region's new daily COVID-19 hospitalizations reach a new high. Dayton 24/7 Now's Allison Walker is live with what this means for the entire community. Allison.
Megan, no one from Kettering Health would go on camera to interview about the decision, and they could not tell me how many surgeries are on hold. But they did say all affected patients will be notified if their surgery is postponed and that outpatient procedures that don't require an overnight stay will continue.
We have 525 people in our region hospitalized across West Central Ohio. That is more than we saw hospitalized in December of 2020. When we did not have a vaccine available.
Sarah Hockenbrock with the Greater Dayton Area Hospital Association says it's a dire reality as every hospital in the Miami Valley evaluates whether or not they have the capacity to carry on with elective procedures on a daily basis.
The result may still be that our climbing hospitalization rates could result in individuals who have to wait for emergency scenarios as well. So we are trying desperately to accommodate the patients that come in through our emergency department.
In a statement, Kettering Health says they are proceeding with surgeries that could threaten a patient's life or limb if not performed, could threaten permanent dysfunction of extremity or organ system if postponed, have a risk of metastasis or progression of staging if not performed, or if there is a risk of rapidly worsening severe symptoms.
Most people automatically think of cosmetic surgery as an elective procedure, but in all reality, these are oftentimes procedures like your new knee or your new hip, and perhaps you have been living with pain and discomfort for weeks or months.
84% of those hospitalized in the region are unvaccinated, and as new daily cases surge on.
For those members of the community who remain unvaccinated, please hear us and understand that we are asking you to get vaccinated because we need that support in the community to prevent COVID-19 from breaking our healthcare infrastructure.
And Kettering Health does not know when their operations will go back to normal. And I also asked them if they plan on calling on the National Guard for assistance. And they replied with a statement that says that there are currently no National Guard members in their hospitals. Reporting live in Dayton, Allison Walker, Dayton 24, 7 Now News.
Allison, thanks so much. Now, we also asked Premier Health to see if it plans on pausing elective surgeries. We were told in part, quote, "We are balancing schedules to maximize the care we can provide, including elective surgeries. When appropriate, some procedures are being rescheduled to ensure this balance." Tonight, a 9-year-old Clark County boy is grateful for his community after hundreds welcomed him home from the hospital today. PJ Grandinet has been in the hospital and Ronald McDonald House in Cincinnati since the end of November, recovering from a liver transplant.
Dayton 24/7 Now's Chelsea Six spoke with PJ and his family about what this welcome home meant to them.
Just 33 days after his liver transplant, PJ is officially home in Clark County. But first, he was welcomed home by hundreds in his community. The man behind all of it says he didn't even know PJ, but was called to organize the welcome home surprise.
That's for you, because you're going home.
PJ Grandinet has been recovering from a liver transplant at Cincinnati Children's and the Ronald McDonald House since November. He was finally cleared to go home, and he did so in a limo.
What do you think about being here? What do you think about going home?
I like that even more.
He thought he was going to stop by Greenan Elementary to wave to just his class, but instead he was welcomed by 900 students. Then, after getting a bite to eat at his favorite pizza shop, he visited Young's Jersey Dairy, where dozens of people were waiting to welcome him home to Clark County. The Manters say they are showing their support because they know the importance of community at times like these.
It kind of hit home to us because of our own son having liver failure.
The man who organized all of this didn't know PJ, but was just inspired by his story.
I have kids of my own, and when I seen the Praying for PJ page that this 9-year-old was going to have a liver transplant, it hit me in my gut, and I felt like it was my own child.
PJ's mom, Kimberly Grandinet, says he has several medical conditions he's been fighting since he was born. She says this support means the world after this latest hurdle.
It just shows us that we're not alone, that we're not here in this journey by ourselves, that we have other people that we can rely on as well.
She says he will likely need a kidney transplant next and also has an inoperable brain tumor. But right now, they're focusing on healing and keeping PJ positive.
Well, as you can tell today, he's so much more happy than he's ever been.
Tell me how it felt to have all of those people here to support you today.
It made me feel so good.
What are you most excited for now?
The doggies.
A reunion months in the making. PJ's mom says he will now have to stay home until April as he continues to recover. She says in the meantime, the community can continue sending uplifting messages to the Praying for PJ Facebook page.
Coming out of the holiday season, companies are continuing to give back to local nonprofits.
Dayton-based company Buckeye Vodka donating $10,000 to food pantries across Ohio and here in the Miami Valley. Dayton 24/7 Now's Bryn Caswell is live downtown telling us what they need most right now. Bryn.
Adam, Megan, we rang in another pandemic New Year for the second year in a row, and food insecurity is still a big issue across our city. Over 300 families come here to the Dayton Food Bank on a weekly basis to receive help, and now area companies are adding extra support. When there was a statewide shortage of hand sanitizer in March of 2020, Marine-based company Buckeye Vodka stepped in, formulating and packaging bottles for area hospitals and the Dayton nonprofit Homeful.
They donated several hundred bottles to us, so they've been a tremendous support, not just through the pandemic, but overall.
Fast forward 2 years later, in celebration of the company's 10th anniversary, Buckeye Vodka donated $10,000 to Ohio food pantries. A full circle moment for local recipients, Homeful.
It's a nice sum of money to have, and we're going to put it to use, making sure our clients have what they need.
Homeful has continued to provide food, housing, and jobs to people struggling in the community throughout the pandemic. And so has the Dayton Food Bank. Even though the season of gifting is over, donations, monetary or food related, are encouraged year round.
When it comes to food drive items, we can always use canned fruits and vegetables. Those are always asked for. And then in addition to that, any type of rice, pasta, a shelf-stable grain, those are always asked for as well.
With 2021 now behind us, Homeful says 2022 is looking bright, thanks to hardworking, generous community members and partners.
It's nice that they're a local company and they give back locally.
Buckeye Vodka was unavailable for an interview today, but both Homeful and the Dayton Food Bank have very exciting projects coming in 2022. The Dayton Food Bank here is expanding their warehouse 6,000 square feet. If you are interested in donating to both Homeful or the Dayton Food Bank, just head over to this version of this story on our website at Dayton247now.com and just look for this story under top stories. Reporting live in Dayton, Bryn Caswell, Dayton 24/7 Now News.